In the last video, I mentioned Mono struggling at the end. I showed an animation a little bit and that's it. I never talked about it in details and this is the video for that. What is up, SmackNPie here, and welcome back to another Little Nightmares video on the channel. I wanted to do a full characters video from the game files, the models that we've seen and other props such as Fat Kid's Lollipop. It is in the game file as well. I wanted to talk about that, but I just wanted to make this video, small short video of that section. So an animation that was not used where Mono was tied up presumably to a chair. He's out. Yep, he's out cold. And then he wakes up, he realizes the situation that he's in, he tries to escape. And then from that point onwards, the player is given the controls to escape. You use left and right and you break the chair, presumably, and then Mono gets up and then he basically gives the control to the player and now you control it. So, well, presumably, allegedly, we don't know what happens after that because it ends right there. What is happening? Is this a cut content? If it is a cut content, why is this here? What does this signify? Are we missing a point here? Well, let's try to get into it. I have 2 points that I made. Number one, let's start with this portion being in the main game. So I believe that the game was supposed to start with this sequence right here instead of us coming out of a television. Not even television. We didn't even escape through television. We just randomly woke up in a forest. I personally was disappointed with that, but imagine if the game had opened with you being tied to a chair, then you finally escape and then you go through the forest and escape 6. That would have made so much sense instead of just randomly waking up in a forest. But I believe that if this was in main game, it would have been done by Hunter. We saw in the comics when 6 and Mono met for the first time. Mono was up in the tree, 6 was down there. 6 got captured by Hunter. There's a likely chance that Mono tried to help, but eventually he got caught too. Why do you think Mono knew 6 somehow? Well, it's because he has seen her in the comics. So I believe the game was meant to start with us being captured by the Hunter. We were supposed to escape from there, make our way to 6, help her escape as well. But I believe one of the reasons they didn't add that in is because they wanted to go for, oh look, Mono accidentally stumbled upon a room where 6 is being held, instead of, oh, Mono knows where to go. Mono got captured and he knows where to go. Mono knows, player doesn't. And when you're giving a game an experience out there, you need to make sure that you're thinking about the player, about the viewer. So that is number one. Number two, I believe that this can still be used in a DLC. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys know exactly which one. So there's a likely chance of us playing as the ghost kid. Yep, not even that fat kid. And by the way, most of you guys are on me for me calling Fat Kid the Fat Kid. I'm not fat shaming him. Literally in the game file, his name is the Fat Kid. I would have called him the Lollipop Kid. I would have called him the Chubby Kid, but his name officially in the game files is called Fat Kid. Regardless, if we are controlling them in the DLC, I believe when they pass the Hunter side, we as players and they as kids would witness Mono escaping from the chair. We would make a noise and then Mono from that noise will wake up, realize what's going on, instantly escapes and makes a run for it. And that is it. That is all we're gonna see from Mono in the DLC, just like we saw 6 only once. Well, more than once, but it was very brief, like she made a little cameo in the Runaway DLC. I believe Mono will make a cameo. The Thin Man didn't catch up with us in the beginning because he was going around getting all the other kids. The DLC can easily explain that. So that is number one. There's still hope for DLC. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, okay? Then we get to the second point, and that is the adult Mono. Some of you guys asked me to touch on adult Mono, his animations being in the game files, his model being in the game file. Listen, there's not much to talk about adult Mono other than the fact that it is interesting how all the animations of young Mono that you can play works perfectly with adult Mono. There's a likely chance, and that is the only thing we can grasp onto, devs might have planned a sequence for us to play as adult Mono, basically life after betrayal. He would be doing random chores, but then they decided that nah, let's take it out. It's way too on the nose, and Little Nightmares is the last game where you want things to be too on the nose. And I'm 100% sure that fans, you guys included, would love a chance to play as adult Mono, even for 1 second. You guys just want to control him, to give him a big hug after what happened between him and 6. Sadly, I think this has nothing to do with the future DLC or even the main game itself, other than it is just an adult Mono made for that final ending, because the file name is Becoming Mono Stage 3. I know he is not sitting on the chair. Well, that is because in the cut content that I showed you guys a long time ago, the alternate ending, the Thin Man was supposed to be in a room with a lot of televisions around, flesh walls, and the ending was supposed to show us the Thin Man fully embracing himself. That is one way to do it. That is one way to look at it. Don't worry, the adult mono, it was literally made for that final sequence. Other than that, there's this kid right here that really boils me, and I'm gonna get into the bottom of it, so you guys do let me know who do you think he is, as we will theorize about him and other kids in the next video. So stay tuned, subscribe right now, help me get to 75k, follow me on Twitter inside the SmackNPie, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.